Can't see it. All right, well, we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Cheetah
and the Cheese.
And we're just coming back to you on a Thursday, ready for Thursday night football.
Yes, sir, baby. Hey, song of the day. If you like football, you know what this one is right here. Great movie. Shout out Remember the Titans.
Heck yeah. One of the best movies of all time.
Thursday night football tonight.
People definitely need to watch that one.
We gotta let this one ride a little bit longer than usual. It's a good song. You know, a little bit of karaoke night. Everybody joining in. You got lucky. I'm definitely not doing that.
So today what we're going to be talking about is kind of a recap of what went on Monday. You know, it pretty much shocked both of us with the Raiders coming out with a victory over there. So that was exciting. Always seeing the Saints go down in our division as a Panthers fan is always good. So thank you, Raiders, but go Las Vegas. You know, John Gruden's doing some good things down there, and they just got a pretty dynamic offense, a pretty dang good defense. One thing that worries me about their defense is those linebackers, but everything else I think is pretty solid. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, even you know, they did it. They got it done in Las Vegas. The stadium looked amazing. I was lucky enough to see it in person when I was out there with you.
Vegas.
But yeah, that was awesome in a good way for them to open it up like that. And I think even with Thomas, you know, I think if the Saints, even if they still had him, I see the Las Vegas Raiders still winning that game. I think they just controlled all aspects of the game and just put together a really good game. And I really like what John Gruden's doing over there. Drew Brees did throw for 312 yards, though, a touchdown and a interception. He was 26 for 38. Kamara looked really good. 79 yards with 13 carries, 2 touchdowns on the ground, averaging 6.1 yards a carry. But the Saints still, you know, is a really good team and stuff. And when they get Thomas, I feel like they'll open some more things up. But Carr looked really good with 284 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Jacobs, man, that's your dude, almost broke 100. He had 88 out of 27 carries. So, I mean, they're feeding them. They're looking good.
Yeah, they don't mind blocking for sure.
No doubt. Yeah. And we both got that pick wrong, but I was surprised. I'll take that one. As a man, I'll take that one on the chin. I didn't think they could do it against the Saints, but
I think 90% of America thought that the Saints were going to win, and the only 10% was like the Las Vegas fans.
Dude, they look good. I just hope they don't downward slope as the season progresses and prolongs. I hope they can just keep on the high horse right now.
Yeah, well, that's pretty exciting for the city. I thought Drew Brees kind of showed his age a little bit, but, you know, he always bounces back. He's kind of like an Aaron Rodgers in that aspect. And I think even without Michael Thomas, like you were saying, I think they're pretty good offense. Alvin Kamara, he can get the job done. They got a dual split with Latavius Murray. They're going to get them touches. Their O-line's not bad either. They just need to get some more chemistry with Emmanuel Sanders. It seems like him and Drew Brees were so off page all night. And so you go down to Traquan Smith, who's out there on the left side, and you know, he becomes the number one, which doesn't – Traquan Smith's not the number one. And I think we all know that. But ended up they not being the Saints. Raiders open up, breaking new records or bringing in records to this new stadium. You know, so that was pretty cool to see. Tonight's matchup is what I really want to get to, Josh.
Let's get to it, man. It's a battle in Florida. It's battle in Florida. Dolphins
we got FITZMAGIC versus JOCK Strap King. Lay it on me. Tell me what you're thinking going in tonight.
Jags. I'm definitely thinking the Jags winning on that one. You know, Minshew, Minshew looked really, really, really good last game, even them losing it. And they coulda, shoulda won that game. And he's looking good. He's firing on all cylinders. Fitzpatrick, I told you we always get half and half and 50-50. I don't think Fitzpatrick has a 300-something passing game today. Jaguars are kind of sneaky. I do like their defense. They're not amazing, but I like the way they play, and they're kind of playing that little fast, physical, 11 to the ball type defense right now to kind of cover up some of the little holes that they may have in their defense. But they're really sneaky. They're looking good. I got my money on Minshew. I'm picking the Jags on this one. I still feel like Dolphins are in that, they're kind of like Washington to me when I think about them. That kind of rebuilding phase. Can they hang on in a game or pull one out or something like that? Yeah, but consistently are they going to be that team to knock multiple teams out in the season? I don't think so. So I go with the Jags on that one.
Yeah, I like the Gardner Minshew show, man. I just think that story about him wearing that jock strap right before games every game last year was just one of the funniest things.
It's hilarious, dude.
I want the Jags to win, but I can't count out my man Fitzpatrick. I know he's an old guy. The Miami Dolphins, maybe not with Devontae Parker. I forgot if his injury is going to make him out tonight, but next guy's got to step up. Mike Gesicki, he's a great tight end. They've got a good young running back in Myles Gaskin. I liked him. I drafted him in a startup draft 2 years ago, and I dropped him, but then I ended up picking him back up. So that guy's going to get some touches. He came from behind last week versus the Bills. He got 7 receptions, so he can do it both. He can run the ball, and he can catch it out of the backfield, so that's always nice to see. They got a good young running back in Jacksonville, too. He's a first-year starter. I didn't even know about that guy coming in, and I've always kind of liked Jacksonville's O-line and the way they ran their offense because it's run first. And he's been doing pretty good lately, so they've got
Robinson. He rushed for 102 yards last week, and that's against the Titans. And you know they only lost by 3 to a pretty solid team that I think. So I mean, they got a good ground game there too. That's just making things easier for Minshew.
That's what I was getting to because their wide receivers are a great bunch of young talent. DJ Chark's not going to be playing tonight, so that kind of sucks. But I think Keelan Cole's going to pretty much step up and fill that role. He's been doing pretty well the past 2 games. And then you got that rookie in Laviska. You know, he's the rookie out of Colorado that came out. He's pretty much not thought of as good as Jerry Jeudy, right, or CeeDee Lamb, but he was still in the conversation. He's very athletic. If you go back and watch his film, they're just trying to feed this man the ball in Colorado. And I feel like he was a huge part of their success the past couple of years in college football. So that's gonna be fun to watch. I think their tight end. I don't even really know who their tight end is, to be honest with you. So
somebody irrelevant at this point right now.
Yeah, he's probably just a run blocker. That's how James Robinson's getting all those touches. But so you said you got the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight.
You know,
I'm going opposite, and I'm gonna say that Miami.
Make it interesting from it, baby.
I'm gonna make it interesting. Miami comes out and plays defense today. They are going to ride Fitzpatrick until they can't do it no more. If he makes so many decisions, you know, he's a smart guy, but if he makes those poor decisions, Tua's next in line. Like, they don't really have nothing to lose, to be honest with you. So I'm riding.
Do you think they play Tua any this season?
I think he'll eventually. Yeah, this might be Fitz's last year, and I think everybody kind of knows that. That's why they're kind of just giving him the reins right now. Because, like I said, he's not a dumb guy. He's very smart. He knows how to read a defense, and Tua can learn like Patrick Mahomes did behind Alex Smith in that scenario. Yeah. You know, so
I just don't think he comes in unless Fitzpatrick gets an injury. But, I mean, I really don't know. It's kind of 50-50 for me. I don't even know what I would do as a coach, you know, if I put myself in that predicament. I think I would just have to go week by week, honestly. And, me personally, I'd have in the back of my mind, let him sit for a year, get through this year with Fitzpatrick. And that way he rehabs. He knows the offense. He's on the sidelines with the headset on sometimes, looking at defenses and things like that. So he's hearing the calls. Because you also don't want to throw him out there too, and he gets smacked off a bad read or a bad block or something like that, and he's not fully ready to go. So I don't know. Me as a coach, I would have him in the back of my head like you're sitting until I can't take it no more, or I need you. You know, so. Yeah.
Tanner says he thinks Tua's still hurt, so that could be an issue for real because his hip, I know he had surgery on it last year. And
I don't think he's 100% for sure.
Yeah, not ready for the NFL. You get out of college ball, and then you get into the league where all these guys are pushing like 220 and up, and you're getting tackled and slammed at like 4.640. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a car coming at you. I know they did a sports science on Ray Lewis, and it was like a semi-truck coming and running you over at like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I mean, also,
take your time, how long
he's played. I mean, he had a whole year off as well.
Yeah.
So, get him reps and practice and get used to the speed again, you know?
Which we're seeing what's happening with people not being able to practice, you know, with the quarantine going on, a lot of injuries. I know one of the biggest stats was like 6 or 7 ACLs. ACLs were torn. That's crazy to think about because, you know, that happens on a week to week. Like 2, 3 guys might go out, but 6, dude. 6 people going out because
And it shows you there's something there.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a freak accident anyway. I tore both of mine. That you can't like help prevent it, but even when it happens, like you can't.
But I think you can prevent it, and that's being active all the time, right? You don't take days off.
Yeah,
You go
that's
out
what
there
I'm
and you're
saying.
getting stuff done. You just don't take days off, and it strengthens up all your stuff so you're ready for the big day, right? It's a different
Yeah.
animal when you're taking on NFL games and NBA games and things like that. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, well, no doubt. But I mean, like if it comes to a hit or something like that, but that's like I said, those 1 or 2, which is a freak thing. But if you look at 6 or 7, then that is directly pointed toward what you're saying, not being able to rehab it and get it stronger and get the fibers and everything getting stronger around that muscle and that ligament. So yeah, I think it is directed right toward not having the time that we usually have.
Yeah. So that being
great.
said, you're taking the Jacks. I'm taking the Dolphins tonight. I'm gonna ride the bet. I like Gardner Minshew a lot. I do like that offense, and I think they have a good thing going on in Jacksonville, but they lost it. Right? They start slow and they come back. They're always having to come back. So I think it's going to be one of those games. Miami's a little bit better defense now than they were last year. So we'll see. Tanner said knee injuries suck. Cheese and I know.
I know. I'm reading it. I'm reading it now. Heck
Okay.
yeah, it does, dude. Those things are awful.
But yeah, so what we did, we asked you guys last week to fill out one of these forms, and week 3 questions going into. Basically, we're going to do this on Mondays, right? Because we know it. We know the questions we kind of want to ask for the week, and then we're going to go over it on Thursday. We had over 40 responses this time, but still statistics, man. Which injury will most impact the team? Drew Lock, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, Cortland Sutton, or Paris Campbell?
I'm still with Christian McCaffrey on that one. That's y'all. That is y'all's, and it's multiple weeks, and that is y'all's thoroughbred horse, and that's someone that you need to feed over and over and over. And he's also a game changer, or someone that can keep you in games, even if there's a disadvantaged slope all around. So McCaffrey for me.
Yeah, I had about 50% said McCaffrey. The next 32% said Saquon. Okay, so now the Panthers and the Giants, and Saquon, that is a huge loss for sure for the Giants because he's also kind of like McCaffrey's role in that offense. But I agree, like he's our bread and butter. That's the man. I haven't seen a running back do it like him since I've been watching
with
football.
the Giants now losing Barkley, it still sucks. The reason I kind of differ from one another is because now let's see what Daniel Jones can do. Put the ball in his hands, see if he can spread it and make those passes and stuff like they're believing he can do. So that's why, and I think with Carolina, we kind of seen what we're going to get with Bridgewater already, which is not like too horrible or too great or nothing like that. But I think we kind of see it. I think Daniel Jones is still like growing and proceeding in this league. And hey, you don't have a thoroughbred in the backfield no more to just hand it off to. You make this train ride.
But Giants don't have an O-line to block for them. I need somebody off the street that's 500 pounds to just sit there and block better than these mugs.
It's so hard for them. But I mean,
I still can't get over. I can't get over them 2 pulling guards pulling and going the opposite way, like both of them going right back at the quarterback.
Next play, we're going to have a 87 pull right and left.
Oh God. Even the NFL makes mistakes, boys and girls. Next one, Vikings have really definitely not showed up this year, right? So what is that main problem? Is it Kirk Cousins, the O-line not blocking, the D-line giving up too much run, or the DBs giving up too much pass? What do you think is a certain problem over there in Minnesota?
I think I put DBs on that one for them because they're really getting tore up, and especially that loss they had after Green Bay played them. I can't remember who they played now. But, I mean, they were getting tore up with the ball being thrown all over them. I like their linebacker play and things like that. I don't think their offensive line is amazing or anything like that. But I think their offense it still is a good offense. And with Cook running the ball too, and I don't think Cousins is worth much at all. But he has done some things over the past. So, for me on that one, I say DBs with them. I think they really need to sharpen it up on the back end of defense.
Only 16% think the DBs, it was that 41%, which is the most, thought the O-line, they're not blocking. And then 14% said 38% So 41% and then 38% right here are the O-line not blocking or Kirk Cousins. And I'm going to agree with you that I think it's Kirk Cousins. I know I got a Minnesota fan over there, and Kyle, and he's going to be mad about the Minnesota Vikings all season probably because of that division, and they're just, I don't know, they look like trash, man. And that, I think it's Kirk Cousins. You can't turn the ball over 3 times like that. You can't take 2 safeties. Like, he stood back there, didn't throw the ball away, didn't do nothing. Kirk Cousins, I don't know how you're still even in the league. I know they spent a lot of money. I think he's on 1 or 2 more years of his contract, so that'll be a good riddance. Maybe Minnesota can get somebody else. But anything else on that one? Yeah. Next one. Who is most likely to take that first loss this season? We got the Seahawks, the Rams, the Bills, who play the Rams, Titans, Bears, Steelers, Cardinals, or Packers. Okay, all those teams are listed as 2-0, and the most people voted that the Bears at 62% would lose this week. What do you think?
I picked the Bears as well. Obviously, they're in our division. I don't care anything about the Bears at all. And I think their luck is about to run out, and they should already had a loss against Detroit. So, yeah, and majority of the other teams that you listed, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but those are pretty solid teams, and I don't think Bears are in the same category when it comes to those other teams that you mentioned.
Well, like I said, the Rams and the Bills play each other, so there has to be a loser this week. And then you got the Bears at 62%. I also think, I don't even remember who they're playing this week. We'll talk about it on Saturday if you guys tune back in, and we'll go over all the matchups and what we think. So we'll also have a special guest appearance over here. You know, we're gonna have Josh or the Cheese. We're gonna have Cheetah, and we're gonna have a special guest, another high school football coach, which is awesome. So you can kind of get to know somebody else a little bit better, right? And I want to start doing Saturdays as like a special guest appearance. So if you are interested in coming out on as a special guest, please message me. You know, we'd love to hear what you have to say. We'd love to get you out here. You know, it's a lot of fun seeing yourself live and things like that. We want to provide that opportunity for you.
And just talk football.
Yeah, just talk football, something that we all love. But so yeah, I'm with you guys with the Bears on that. Who will be the worst team in the NFL? Okay, there's 7 of them. There's 7. So listen closely. You got the Bengals. You got the Jets. You got the Dolphins. You got the Giants. You got the Texans. You got the Panthers. You got the Lions. And then you got the Broncos. Okay?
Jets.
So out of all those teams, you're going to say the Jets.
Jets, yes. I think they're hurting, and I don't like – who is Sam Darnold?
I just traded the 3rd and 5th round just because he's young for him in my dynasty. I was just like, let me get him. Why not?
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I just put myself in a crappy situation. I got 4 quarterbacks out of 5 that are on a bye week on week 11, so that sucks.
No.
45% say the Jets are going to be the worst team. The next worst would be the Giants. The next one would actually be Carolina at 10%. I agree with you guys on the Jets. I think the Jets are the worst team. You're right. They have no receivers either. They're all dying. Le'Veon Bell's dying. I don't know. They're just old. Adam Gase is a terrible coach. They're going to be the worst. Adam Gase is just terrible. So there's no rewriting that story.
Panthers going to hurt until they get McCaffrey back. But I don't think as a whole season, I don't think they'll be the worst. But I don't know. I want to see Joe Burrow freaking win a game. But who knows? They already played like 2 trash teams at the beginning of the year, so that one's up in the air. We gotta see. It's kind of early, but I still say Jets.
Are you gonna say something before I started listing off this stuff?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Jets. I agree. Boom. Next one, highest fantasy QB producer in week 3. Okay, so I'm gonna list off 5 of them for you. We got Josh Allen, who's playing the Rams. We got Ryan Tannehill, who's playing the Vikings. We got Matt Ryan playing the Bears. So that's who plays the Bears this week is Atlanta. Deshaun Watson playing the Steelers. And then Kyler Murray playing the Lions.
Oh, you had me a second ago. I filled this out too. I kind of remember what I keep putting out. But Kyler Murray, man, playing the Lions too. The Lions defense is kind of suspect anyway. I'd love to see him run all over another divisional team that we play. in our division. But Kyle Murray, man, I think he's a little young Michael, man. He looks good, and put pressure on him. He'll roll out right in front of the defensive end's face, and he's gone. He is,
I like that reference. I like that Mike Vick reference, dude. That really he does.
Yeah, he plays like him. The dude's crazy, dude. There was a slow mo of him last week. Literally, he paused, and it was a defensive back. He paused the defensive back for like 3 seconds, like taking a really elongated short step, and then he just turned the jets on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's going to be scary.
So I'm going to agree also because I think Kyler Murray is that dual threat. But I want you guys to know that the Lions spent the 3rd pick overall, or 2nd pick, one or the other. I forgot when the Lions picked last year, on that Jeff Okudah from Ohio State. So we're gonna see how he can hold up versus a freaking DeAndre Hopkins. Right, I think that's going to be an interesting matchup whenever I watch the highlights of that game. Is just going to be how good that DB plays to see if he's actually the real deal. Because it's always fun to watch rookies that are starting in the league. He might be hurt. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the Lions. But the next person that was – go ahead.
I said if he's on Hopkins, then good luck to him.
That'll be a great experience, dude.
Oh, it's going to be a great experience, but he ain't going to shut him down. I know that.
Yeah. Then the next person that was listed as most at 10%, so 67 said Kyler Murray, 10% are saying Matt Ryan versus the Bears. And I think Matt Ryan takes a little step back from this week. I also think Josh Allen takes a step back just because of those defenses. Matt Ryan hasn't been pressured by Khalil Mack and all of Akeem Hicks. Like, they got some good D linemen coming at you, and their secondary is not too bad. And then the Rams are just awesome on defense. So I think Josh Allen also played the Jets, who are the worst team in Miami, next. So they've got 2 divisional opponents out the way. They've already blown them out. And now the Rams coming into town. I think they're going to be on their high horse ready to get shut down. So that's how I feel about this week with fantasy. I actually benched him for Fitzpatrick this week. Crazy enough.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm with you, man. That Rams defense is absolutely insane. On all aspects, and the way they run their offense, they're going to chew some clock out a lot with that play action. They're going to chew it. They're going to hand it off, keep it, throw it, hand it off, keep it, throw it, hand it off, hand it off, hand it off, keep it, throw it. Like, that's how their whole offense is based off of with that play action. So, I agree with you on that one.
Okay, well, she'll bring us to our last question of the 6 questions we had, and it was the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. I picked this one out because – one, it's the Cowboys, which is America's team, right? America's team. And Seahawks, because they're on fire, and I just love that offense and Russell Wilson. So I said, who you got? And 75% say Seahawks, 24% or 25% say Cowboys. What you going?
Seahawks, yeah. Seahawks, Russell Wilson is still a man on a mission. DK Metcalf was absolutely saying, "What's up, Stephon Gilmore? I'm going to catch bombs over your head. I don't care if you're the best corner in the league." And you know, Cowboys don't have a Stephon Gilmore. So, and the defense for years has always been pretty solid. I mean, it don't even matter. They're always going to be in there and keep them into play, and it depends on what that offense does. And I think Russell Wilson is extremely comfortable with the offense that he has, and he's got a target he can sling it downfield too.
He's got a target that he can throw anywhere within 6 feet of, because DK Metcalf is out of this world. I love that guy.
And you're doing that with the best corner in the league?
Calvin Johnson 2.0.
Yeah, so you should be able to do it next week for sure.
I agree with everybody. I think Seahawks are going to win on that. I think the Cowboys' defense is just awful. We saw it versus Atlanta. We saw it versus the first week, and they squeaked out one, didn't they? Or they 0-2. No, they lost to the Rams, and they barely beat Atlanta. That's what it was. Yeah, but that defense was awful.
Onside kick, dude. They should have lost.
If it gets into another ball like that, Atlanta's defense is trash. Like, it is trash. So if they try to do this versus Seahawks, it ain't happening.
Yeah. They was beating that tail, too, at first.
Yeah, but Seattle, their defense is a little suspect, too, dude. They've been giving up like 50 points in 2 games. I know they're good, but 50 points in 2 games is a lot.
Their defense, I don't think, is elite. I just think they're, like, scrappy, and they're not just going to lay down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, we've seen out of all these kind of low-tier teams that's just like, you're just like, goodness, you know it's coming week after week after week. So they are a little suspect, but I think they're a little bit above than they are below. So we'll see.
Yeah. Tanner said he thinks Kuda's hurt. I'm pretty sure that's what we were talking about. But I think, just Seattle. That was supposed to be one of the game of the weeks. So we already know who we're picking for next week is both Seattle. So don't let Josh change it or the Cheese change it. I would say your name just because I
ain't
can't deal with
anything.
the Cheese.
I'll ride it. I don't care what the score is. I'm gonna pick my picks, baby.
Tune in on Saturday for the special guest appearance. We'll be going over all of the games and a list of Sunday. And then if you see the record right there, you got Cheetah on top, 21-10, and Josh is close, or the Cheese, god dang, is close behind at 18 and 13. So he's only three behind. We'll probably have some crazy show going on Saturday. So it'll be fun. Make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yes, sir. Cheetah and the Cheese. Out.